strong.
Okay, this is Abiodun. So this is Abiodun. What I want to explain now is just about a simple cantilever, how to draw a simple cantilever using Autodesk Inventor, and how to carry it a stress analysis on it very fast. So the first thing we're going to do is just to go to parts. We open the parts. I just click on parts now. Now, likewise, I can open parts from this place. I can go to new and say parts IPT, because what you're going to draw, we want to now we want to consider this cantilever. We want to draw two parts. We want to draw one part as base and the other part as extension. So that we can just, if you want to draw part, you can come to this place and say standard IPT. It's still the same thing of, okay, let me just create it now. Just say create. So we have two methods of creating part or starting a part model. Now after this, we have this is an interface for part. Now we'll go to start 2D sketch. This is start 2D sketch. Now when we start 2D sketch, we have three planes here. We have the XZ plane, we have the YZ plane, we have the XY plane. So now I'm going to select your plane. Note that the plane you select will determine how your image, where your image will be facing, or where your model will be facing. So we select, let's select YZ plane for our drawing. So the thing we'll start with the 2D sketch. Now I've drawn a rectangle. I click it. I've already drawn a rectangle, but I don't know the dimension. I can press D on my, if I press D on my keyboard, it will bring out dimension. So there, or I can come to this place and click dimension. When I click on dimension, I'll come to this place and drag it up, and I'll click it. Now after clicking this place, I'll just move the cursor up. Dimension, I'll click on this place, move the cursor up, so I can input my dimension there. Say 400. Now I want to zoom everything. I can come to this place, I'll right click this and say zoom all, and click this place. Everything will come out. So I'll go to this place again. What's my dimension for this place? My dimension for this place is 200. Now I've already given this rectangle a dimension. I want this rectangle to be at the middle. I want to constrain it to be at the middle. What I will do is I'll just pick my dimension again, come to my dimension and say from this edge here to the middle. That should give me. Now what you notice is blue already. By the time you dimension it will turn to black. That to show us that it's fixed, is constrained. So we can say from that side to that, it will be what, 400 divided by 2. You can also use 200. So that means from this side now, from this place to the middle now is 200. We'll go up again. From this place to this place is what? So what do we have for the? You have 200 divided by 2. Say enter. So now if you look at it, all the edge of the rectangle have turned to what? Have turned to back. That means what? It's fully constrained. It's fully was centralized to the what? Origin, to the plane of the origin. That is the center point of the origin is centralized there. So when we are done with this, we can say finish. That means we have finished our 2D sketch. Now the next thing we want to do, what? We want to extrude it to know the thickness of what we are using. So we can go to extrude. Now extrude, we want to make it 30 mm. So it will be 30 mm in between. So we say okay. So we can also come to this generic here to select the material we're going to use. So for me, I think we use my steel. Okay, we use steel my for this material here. So I've chosen the material for this. Now, but the thing is, I want to make an O. I want to make something like a rectangular O, so that that is where I will constrain the other part that is coming, which is the extension, so that I can carry out my analysis on it. So now the thing is, I want to make a O on this rectangle. I've already drawn this model, this rectangle solid model I've already made. So the thing I will just do, I'll just go to the 2D sketch again. Now I've gone to the 2D sketch, but I want to make a sketch on this. The thing I will do is I'll just go to the face I want to make that sketch. I've gone to the 2D sketch. I'll go to the face I want to make the sketch. I'll just click the face. Now when I click the face, it will show like this. Now I'll just draw the rectangle again. So now the rectangle I want to use is 40 by 150. I'll click my dimension. dimension, this is 150, this is 150, this is 40. So I can still do it the same way, that from this place to the middle should be what, 40 divided by 2, and from this place to this place is what, 150 divided by 2. So I'm done with the sketch. The next thing I will say what, finish sketch. Now after I say finish sketch, I will go to extrude again, but this time around I'm not extruding forward, I'm extruding backward to cut. I can just come to this place, see this place shows cut, I'll just say cut and I'll okay. So I've successfully what, make an I've successfully make so I can just go to fillet to make my shape, to make sure that it's not sharp edge. I can just click this place and click all this edge, click this edge, click this edge to make it nice, and I'll apply the fillet, and that is okay. So now let me save this part. Save. I'll go to where I want to save my work. Let me just save it as, I'll save it as base. I'll save it as fixed base. I'll save it as fixed base. I'll save. So I'm done with this. I want to draw the second part that will extrude. The second part, which I said is the extension. I'll just come to this file. I'll say new again. I want to start with another part. I want to create another part model. So now I'm done. I'll just say sketch. Now when I say sketch, I'll select this face, the plane again. When I select the plane, but this time around I'm going for 150 by 40. You know, it will enter that place. 150 by 40. So I'll go click my dimension again. This place is what, 150. I can come to this place and zoom it out, and this place is what, 40. So now the next thing is for me to constrain it to the middle. That means it's what, 150 divided by 2. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, let me undo it. Undo. So I have what? Yeah, I have. Let me say this place should be 40. This place is 40. I can bring this down before I constrain. So now I'll go to dimension. I'll constrain this place from up to this place. Let me zoom in so that you can see it very well. From this top to this place, I'll click the middle. So this will be what, 150 divided by 2. So this one I have for this place to the center here, I have 40. I have 150 divided by 2. So this one is mistake. This one is not 150 divided by 2. This should be 40 divided by 2, not 150 divided by 2, 40 divided by 2. So I'm done with that sketch. Okay, I'll say finish sketch. The next thing I will extrude. So now this one I'm going to extrude it 1200 millimeter. 1200 millimeter. Can extrude it in between or anyone I want to do. Let me just say I want to extrude it like this, and I'll say what? Okay, I'm done with that. Go to generic, select the material, still might. I'll just, okay, it's okay like that. I can come to polish to change the color if I like it like that. So I can just come to this place and change it to blue. Nice one. So I can save this again. I will save it as what? Extension. Yeah, extension, sorry. Let me save it as extension new. So I'm done. Now I've drawn 2 parts. The next thing we're going to do was it will create an assembly. That assembly will help us to, like, it's a kind of a platform where you can assemble parts together. So you say go to new. When we go to new, we go to assembly IAM. That is this is assembly IAM. This is one we're going to use. is when we want to perform welding that we'll be using this weld met assembly, but now we are not performing welding, so we'll go to standard assembly, we'll say create. Now when we are done with our create, the next thing is to go to place and import those things we have drawn. Now we'll go to place and say okay. Now you go to where you save it on your system so that you see it. Okay, let me say the first one is what, fees base, set open. Now I can just go to this home place, I click on home, so to show me the isometric view of it. Now this is the isometric view. Now I want to change the direction. What I will do, I will just right click, it will bring this. I can just change it to okay. I can keep on changing the direction. Okay, I don't want it like this. Here I need it like this. You just was left click. Now when you left click, you have it there already, so you can just right click on it and go to what, grounded. Now where we need to ground this, okay, let me undo it. Undo. Now when we need to ground this is because you can move it all around. You can move it all around, and for you to do assembly, for you to assemble things together, one part at least must be grounded. So now right click this and say what, grounded. Now the essence of grounded is for you not to be able to move it all around. You can't move it again. So let's go to the second part of it. We'll bring it. Second one is extension, new, import. We can right click as well to change the direction to what we need. Can right click to change the direction to what we need. Yeah, this is the direction we need. You can just say okay. You right click when you are done with the one you selected, just right click and say okay, or you click your escape button. You can click this to zoom everything. So we have this one is movable, you know, it's only this one that will ground. So this one is movable. The next thing is for us to constrain. So we'll go to constrain. Yeah, now the first thing we're going to do is you can use this your home button to move every part by part. So we'll constrain this place to this place. So we say what, this place to this place. I use my home again to view it well. Now this place to this place, I want you to come to this place. I'll just use my what, flush. I'll use my flush. That means the surface are what, are the same. Now they are equal. I can apply it. Now when I've applied it, the next thing I'm going to do again is to constrain this top of this place. I'll constrain this place now. I'll use my shift button and use the rolling part of the mouse to move it upward. So I want to constrain it with this place. So I click on that place, so I'll use flush. So I've clicked on that place again. So when I click on that place, I use mate to make it what, constrain the way I want it. Apply. Now after I applied it, if you look at it now, we have only successfully constrained it that it will not pass. If you look at this now, let me bring it the other way. Look at it. It's the same edge here. Likewise, we are able to constrain it that it won't go up. It won't go up, but it can only go to this side. It won't go up, it won't go forward. So the last constraint we're going to do is to constrain it so that it will not be moving like this. It will be what, well centralized. So now we click this and we'll click this surface here. We'll come to this place and click on this place. So we are done with our constraint. We are done with our constraint. If you look at it, it's fixed now. You see it now. Look at it very well. Very fixed. If you look at the other side, you see it. Very fixed. You see, it does not exceed the other part. It's very fixed, very well constrained. So the next thing we're going to do is to carry out our stress analysis. But before we do that, we have to save it first. Let's save it. We go to what, stress. Let's save it to stress assemble. Stress assemble. Now we're done. We've saved it to stress assemble. The next thing we're going to do is to go to our environment. We go to our environment and we say stress analysis. Now click on stress analysis. When we click on stress analysis, the next thing we're going to do is create study. Now we create study. Now look at this study. Now what we are dealing with is static analysis. So it's already on static analysis. The next thing we're going to do, all these are already, they are okay. This tolerance and every other thing is okay. We can just go to okay. Now when we click on our okay, now when we look at this this left part of our interface, that is we have static analysis, that's what we're doing. Under it we have the drawing. So now we have the material, we have the constraint, we have the load, we have the contact, and we have the mesh. These are the processes we use for our analysis. Now the first one is the material. We can come to assign material. Now we click on what? Assign material. It will come. You know, we have already chosen my steel, so it's there and everything is is okay. We can just click what? Okay. Now we'll go to constraint. Now look at our constraint is here. Constraint simply means which part is fixed, which part of your assembly is fixed, so that the load, when the load is equally distributed, you will notice that a particular part is what is fixed. So now we just click on fixed. When we click on fixed, we'll select, now this one we call the base, that is the fixed base. We'll select all the surface of the fixed base, all the surface of the fixed base, of the surface of the fixed base. Select all the surface of the fixed base, remain the back. Now this simply means, shows us that what this place is what is fixed, it's not moving, it's fixed. So we say apply. So we are done with this material, we are done with constraint. Next thing is what? Load. So we'll come to the load, we'll click on force. Now where do you want to apply the force? We'll click on the surface we want to apply the force. This is where we want to apply the force. We'll click on what? 15 Newton. Let's say okay, the force we're applying it was 15 Newton. I will click on what? Apply. We are done with that. We'll click cancel. The next thing we have here is what? Contact. So we can just come to this place and say what? Automatic contact. You just generate every contact. That means where it's touching this place, it's touching this place, what? Those are the contacts. We can just say what? Automatically generate contact. You see it detect contact. We are done with that. It has helped us to detect contact. The next thing is what? Mesh. So we'll come to this place and click what? Mesh view. So it's computing, say what? Computing mesh. Now we are able to what? Compute our mesh, and as well we can edit it. Maybe you want to reduce the mesh, we want to we can come to mesh setting, and if you want to reduce the mesh size and the rest, we can reduce it here. We can reduce the mesh size here, but the problem is if we reduce the mesh to small, very small, it will give us accurate answer, but our simulation will what? It will be slow. That is the repercussion. So now we are done with every steps here. The next thing is what? To simulate. Look at this point, we click on simulate. Now we will say what? Run. Now it's loading. You see it? Loading. So this is what we have here. I don't know that it will be fast like that. I can also as well increase the mesh. We can also increase the mesh to get very. Now if you look at this one is what? Adjust times 1. That is it. As when it is times 1, you see the difference. It has moved from this place downward. That should show you as a cantilever. The more the force is what? At this point, the pressure, the pressure is high at this point. So the next thing we're going to do is we can also run the video to see how it's bend displacement, to see the displacement. Now this is it. This is how the displacement goes. So I played the animation result. These are the displacement we go. So we are okay with that. The next thing we're going to do is to generate our results. So the next thing we are going to do is to generate our result. For us to generate our result, the next thing we're going to do is to go to what? Reports. This report here, we'll click on reports, and when we click on reports, we can customize our results, and we can say it should give us all the results, complete results. So if you go into customize results, we can select what we need here, what we want it to give us here, but we can say what? Okay, we need complete results. So when you're done with that, we can just say what? Okay. So it will start generating. You see, it starts generating all the results that has been analyzed when we click our simulate. So it starts generating all the results. Now when it generates all our results, it will open by itself. It will use a kind of browser to open it. These are the results we generated. These are the results and the stress analysis and every other thing. So these are the results. We can as well just press Ctrl A to highlight all the results, copy it, and can copy. We highlight everything, that is Ctrl A and Ctrl C to copy. You can move it to our Microsoft Word. You can click on our Microsoft Word to save it. You can click on our Microsoft Word to save it. I'm coming, my Microsoft Word is loading. So okay, so we've loaded Microsoft Word. You say okay, blank. Now we can just Ctrl V to paste. So it is loading, it will paste all the results. So we can just minus the one we want. You see, everything is here. Everything is here. So this is all our results. So I think based on this video, we are able to know how to do a little parts model, how to do our parts model, and apart from parts model, how to take them to assemble parts, to assemble the two parts together, and how to carry out static analysis on them. Thank you very much. I remain the same, Abiodun Emmanuel. Oh God.